Hello and welcome to Fit and Well. I am so glad that you have decided to join us in this course, and I know by the grace of God we will all have a successful semester. Now, for most of you, this is an elective, and so it may not be, the course that you pay special attention to, but here are some few little tips on how to get an A in Fit and Well. So, for those of you who may have done classes before, you will notice that the Moodle Classroom have changed a little. For those of you who this is your first online class, I'm going to walk through the various steps so that you won't have any trouble navigating the online classroom. So the first thing you want to do, which is very important, is to basically look at when each topic begins. So there is a time period. So for example, topic 1 starts from January 9th to January 15th. And the ending date basically tells you when the assignment is due. So at the end of each topic, there is an assignment, whether it's a discussion question or is an actual written assignment that you have to hand in. For the first and last topic, they run for only a week due to the nature of the assignment. The other topics run for 2 weeks, so you want to pay special attention to the ending date of the topic. The second step, each topic has a weekly devotional, and you want to click on the weekly devotionals. Now you will notice that our devotionals or the devotionals for this class come in the form of a video. These videos are less than 5 minutes long. They're very encouraging, and you always want to begin your week on this particular topic with God. So just spend that extra 5 minutes listening to the devotional and being encouraged. The second step, or the third step, you want to do is get acquainted with the course outline, of course. And then you will notice that on every topic, there are some required readings which will come from your textbook, as well as some supplementary readings. So you will notice, according to your course outline, that there are 4 required textbooks. The first one, Fit and Well Core Concepts and Labs. This is a book that you should have access to. You may have to get an ebook or however else you get access to it. Try to get, so you can read the chapter. And the other 3 textbooks, you can obtain the PDF copy from Google. So here's an example of the Story of Our Health message, which is found on Google. Due to copyright, we cannot insert the link in our classroom, but you definitely have access to your text. Also want to read your supplementary readings because they kind of expand on the topic that is being discussed for the week, as well as the videos. So the videos basically focus on some key areas that we will be discussing during each topic. As I stated earlier, at the end of each topic, there is an assignment. The assignment can be in form of a discussion forum, or it can be in a form of written assignment where you have to submit it to me via Moodle. Now remember, all assignments must be submitted via Moodle. Nothing must be submitted via email unless I have given you permission to do so. Now for your discussion questions, you must post 3 times, and I stress on this 3 times. Your initial post must be a minimum of 250 words, and it must include at least 1 reference. So the reference can either come from what you would have read, it can come from the video, or it can come from something that you would have read outside the classroom. Remember, you must always use APM format for your references. And then you're required to post your responses to 2 of your classmates, and that should be a minimum of 100 words. And this response should be posted every 3 days. And because you are given 2 weeks to submit these assignments, I'm expecting you to adhere to that particular criteria. Now, if you look at the beginning of your welcome unit, you will notice that there is a discussion board grading unit. You want to be very well acquainted with this grading rubric. It consists of, you will be graded, sorry, based on various criteria, and each discussion is worth 100 points. So you can look like critical thinking is 25 points, content and knowledge is 25 points, participation is 20 points, coherence and organization is 20 points, and mechanics is 10 points. Now you want to make sure that you respond to 3 of your classmates, 2 of your classmates' posts, and this is important because if you don't do so, you can easily lose 25 points, and that is definitely not a recipe to get an A in this course. Pay special attention to the due date of the assignments. For example, you see that there's an assignment due, a balanced diet. This is due on February the 12th, and then this other assignment, which is part of your health journal, is actually due at the end of the semester, but you want to make sure that you get started on it as soon as possible. When it comes to answering this question, you want to be as creative, because for large classes like this, when everybody could say the same thing, you're pretty much becoming very monotonous. And so obviously look for an additional method or additional flat to come from it. So to stimulate thought, because the discussion questions are supposed to kind of mirror what will happen in a classroom, ongoing classroom discussion. So for example, we have a topic which is that Miss Temperance is still relevant today, and you can argue whether or not you do believe that whether or not a particular practice is still relevant for today. For example, we expect you to get, well, it is recommended that we get 8 hours of sleep, but yes, so teachers are, there's a great philosopher who says, height of great men will not continue by sudden flight, but while their companions slept were toiling all was true in night, and which, in your opinion, if you do have this particular opinion, that in order to be successful, you may have to sacrifice some hours of sleep. So these are some of the points that I want to be brought up when you're discussing the particular topic. So once you have your references and you're creative and you're answering this discussion question as it was asked, you will pretty much get your full points, even if you go a little different from how your typical classmate would answer the question. And the final step in getting an A in this course, you need to feel free to ask any questions about the course. If it's something that wasn't clear, if there is a mistake that you notice on the course outline or wherever, you can use Moodle, which is a question and answer forum. If there was something that you read in either the book and you wanted some clarity on it, feel free to shoot me an email or ask a question. The majority of I try to answer student questions within 24 hours. If you want an immediate response or if there's something you're not clear about, you can always WhatsApp me. My WhatsApp number is on the course outline, and feel free to reach out to me at any time because that is critical for your success. So that's how to get an A in this course, and I look forward to meeting each one of you in the middle classroom. Have a thanks semester, and God bless.